Hey guys, uh, got a figure from a friend the other day, sort of a early birthday gift. Um, Anyways, as you can see, cool Batman Begins Batman figure. I think he looks better than the Dark Knight version in my opinion, as far as the toy goes. But I definitely like the Dark Knight suit. There's the Batarang, the messed up looking evidence bag. This Batman is just all kinds of awesome, and I haven't even opened him yet. It's a very cool gift. Very cool Batman picture. Don't want to waste too much time with this packaging thing, so I'm just going to say the packaging is pretty good. Mine's a little dinged up, like right there. But it was a gift, so I'd say it's about an 8.5. Anyways, I will be doing a full review on this guy. I didn't do the Dark Knight Batman. That's because he doesn't really pose very well, so I just really don't want to do a review on that figure, but I do have that one, as you've seen in the Joker, my review of Joker, if you've seen that. Anyways, I'll be opening this guy and reviewing him from there. Okay, so here is Batman out of the package. Just gonna say right off the bat, the only real negatives about this figure are just like the Dark Knight Batman, his cape is, of course, plastic, so he can't really take any crouching poses of any kind. And the other negative is this Batman is taller. I mean, he's in a crouching position. He's almost as tall as the Batman Begins figure. So this one's just slightly taller. It's not that big of a deal though, because the Joker figure is, taller than both of them either way, so it's not really that big of a deal in my opinion. But the cape though is a problem. They could make two versions of this figure, one with the rubber or plastic cape and one with the cloth cape. They could have done something like that. It would have been better in my opinion, but they didn't. That said, this figure is really cool. In my opinion, he's more detailed than any of the other figures in the line. He's highly detailed. He's probably the most detailed Batman figure I own, besides some of the higher end figures I have. So just trying to cover some of that detail that I was talking about. Let's see. If you can see this, the face is really nicely detailed. The armor is really nicely detailed. The only problem, in my opinion, with the detail look is the waist cut right here, where or the torso cut where he bends up and down. It looks a little awkward. It doesn't really take too much away from the look. But as you can see, he's very nicely detailed. Even in the back, really, he's got some detailing. So they've missed no mark on detail. Even the bottom of the feet are detailed. So he's got a lot of detail. He doesn't lack in that department. So, articulation. His head is on a ball joint, of course, so it can go all the way around. Just like I showed you earlier, his torso does go up and down. He's on a cut for the waist, and his arms are way more articulated than the Dark Knight figure. Just look at that. I mean, the Dark Knight figure can't even do that. He can only pretty much do that. The hands move, and I will say one thing about the hands. if just like mine, if your hands are stuck and you feel like you're breaking them when you're trying to move them, you know, you're ripping the plastic pegs. I suggest you using the freezer method. Freeze it for like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on your freezer settings. And when you take the figure out, just twist the hands until you get them to get unstuck, basically. Just above all, though, you be careful and don't break your figure, because I don't want to get blamed if you do happen to break your figure. Anyways, his legs. Some people don't like these leg joints to have, but they do work. You know, so he has a lot of articulation in the legs. There's a cut at the thigh, and of course the knee does bend a lot. And then the foot has some pretty good articulation. Doesn't have a Marvel Legends type slant joint in the foot, but it's not too bad. So that's the articulation. For, I guess, a comparison to the Dark Knight figure, the head sculpts are different. I've heard people say they're not different, but they are. They are completely different heads. They may not look it. I mean, at first glance, it definitely doesn't look like they're different. Even I thought they were the same, but after a lot of closer inspection, they are different head sculpts. For one, the head on the Dark Knight Batman is a lot narrower. It goes, you know, it's a lot wider going upwards, whereas his is more, you know, stout, I guess, more short, not as narrow. And even from the side, the Dark Knight Batman's head is a little more thicker than the Batman Begins here. So the heads are different. The body armor is, of course, a lot different. Everything about this figure, even the belt, is different. The feet are different. Every single sculpt is different about this figure. Even the cape is different. Both capes are completely different. So, you know, they really went all out on these figures, making them different. They didn't just rehash the figures like Hasbro probably would have done, where they would have used a lot of the same parts from this figure. So, you know, thumbs up to Mattel for doing that. I'd say this guy is a 9 out of 10 easily, this Batman. I would definitely recommend you getting him, definitely over this Batman, even though this one's still pretty good for a collector or a fan of Dark Knight, but I would definitely say this is the better Batman figure. So he's a 9 out of 10. The packaging was 8.5, maybe a 9 if you get a pretty good packaging that's not dinged up. I want to show you one last thing before I cut the video. Okay, so you may be wondering, what is that thing in his hand? It is a Batarang. No, it does not come with this figure, sadly. This Batarang came with the Takara Batman Begins figure. It's a little bigger than it should be. You know, technically it should be about the size of one of his fingers. But this didn't come with him. It came with the Takara figure, so it's actually in scale with the Takara figure, but not with this Batman. But at least he does have a Batarang. I don't know if I'll keep it on him. I may not. But yeah, he definitely looks better with a Batarang. The fact that he doesn't come with one is stupid. So yeah, that is my review of the Movie Masters Batman Begins Batman figure. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.